Hi, good afternoon. I'm Steve Hanham from the Property Support Network, and I'm delighted to be joined by one of our guest speakers for the PSN Northwest event in January 2024 on the 25th of January. Doors open at 6 for a 6:30 start, and the venue is the usual spot at the Doubletree Hilton, just opposite Manchester Piccadilly. So I'm delighted to be joined by Caroline Pattinson, who's a double award-winning HMO landlord, and she's just recently spoken at a national HMO conference. So we're really excited to have you talking at one of our events, Caroline. So please just tell us a little bit about yourself and obviously what you're going to be talking about on the night.
Yeah, so thank you, Steve, and to Trish and everybody else for inviting me to speak at the Property Support Network on Thursday, the 25th of January. I'm really looking forward to speaking at the event and meeting all the people as well. So a little bit about myself. I have been running high-end HMOs for 25 years in Chester, and I own and manage my own portfolio. And have been property investing into all sorts of different things. I also have serviced accommodation, Airbnb, which in this country and also in Spain as well. And also bought country houses, renovations, land, back to brick refurbs, all sorts of different stuff. And just recently bought an 11-bed property, which is about to get the full treatment. So I've plenty of experience there. But then again, a lot of other people have that experience as well. So really where I'm hoping to add some value on the night is that I was also a property lender, mortgage advisor and bank manager at NatWest Bank for 25 years, and ended up started off at the bottom and ended up really quite senior, looking after property lending for £60 million a week, which is about a quarter of NatWest Bank's lending. So where I'm going to come from on the night is I really want to talk about the things that people are really not talking about on social media, which is how are we managing our businesses and protecting our income through interest rate rises and economic turbulence and inflation, and everything's gone up. Because something that was a really good deal 18 months ago might be a loss leader now, and maybe we're stuck with it. Things that people took on thinking that they could refinance out the back end at, a lower interest rate that, they committed to a couple of years ago. Now that might be completely hitting the fan because obviously the lenders are more wary and the cost of finance is more difficult to come by. And so I'm really talking to, from the point of view of, if you like, my bank manager head, which is how do we assess our businesses and make sure they're viable? And one of those things might be that we shut our business down, that we cease trading. Now, no one talks about that, do they? The people.
No, that's quite a leap of. It's a big thing to actually make that decision if that's where you're at in your business.
Yeah, and obviously, what steps can we take to risk assess and our plan for our businesses? And obviously, we're mostly talking here about property businesses, property portfolios, but these principles will apply to any business. You could be a dog groomer, you could be a hotel, you could be a big corporate, but the ways in which you assess your business and try and protect your income, protect the profitability of the business, and absorb all of these extra costs, because anybody who is on finance is obviously being heavily hit through fixed rates rolling off and the interest rates having gone up so much. On top of that, the staff wages have all gone up with inflation. The energy bills have gone up, refurb bill costs have gone through the roof. Most of us are in this for the long game. So things that, and I know you and I spoke before about various projects, things that I committed to financially to buy property 18 months ago, but still not sort of financed out to the back end. In that time, everything's gone through the roof. And for a lot of people, that means that they could be, as a best case scenario, they might not be making the profit that they would have been. Then maybe if they're lucky, they're just breaking even. But for a lot of those people, I've been personally helping people who have literally gone under. Now, those things they carry shame, they carry embarrassment. People feel like they see all the shiny penny stuff on social media and they feel like failures, and that is not the case. So what I'm going to be talking about is, how do we avoid that situation? How do we just make sure that
well, you've been in business for 25 years, so you've obviously, I mean, a lot of the things you've just mentioned are obviously happening now, but you've obviously had that sort of wealth of experience from before, and obviously going through 60 million pound a week at Lloyd's and seeing property deals gave you a lot of knowledge before you actually got into property.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I know how to run a business, and I know that the title of my presentation is Adapt or Die, and that's actually pinched from the way that we used to run businesses in NatWest, because all businesses need to be able to adapt through changing economic situations, and obviously we're going through massive economic change and probably a change of government in 2024, which for landlords in particular is unlikely to be helpful. More
Couldn't
cost.
possibly comment.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so how are we able to prepare for these things? So I'm going to be talking through the exact steps that I've taken with my own business, using my own actual numbers to say there's like a quadrant of four things basically that you can do, and every business should do, regardless whether it's a property related business or not, actually, and whether it's a tiny business or a huge corporate, which is, what are the four key things that we all can and really should on a very regular basis be doing to assess the robustness of our businesses, and one outcome from that can be we continue to grow, we continue to make more money, we absorb all the costs, we absorb the increase in energy prices, building costs, refurb costs, interest rates, and we still make a profit and then some. That's obviously the ultimate. That's what I'm going to talk through about how what exactly I've done to achieve that. That there are some middle grounds that people can do, which is just accept that they're taking home less money every month and they're just grateful that they can keep their head above the water. But nobody really would choose to be in that situation. And obviously a worst case scenario, if people really haven't been able to plan for these things, is that they go under. And there's a lot of people who are quietly going back to a day job or their old corporate job or something like that, because property has become, it's not profitable basically. And there's nothing wrong in doing that, but let's talk about these things. I think that it's really difficult to talk about these things because people always want to feel like they're successful, and by the time they're coming to finance or any other finance, they're not talking about the worries they've got. They feel the need to present their best financial situation, and that isn't always the case. So I'm going to talk through how we can risk assess our businesses and how we can anticipate these things coming up, the steps we can take, and exactly what I've done in anticipation of me personally having a substantial amount of money. I've got best part of £1 million rolling off January 24, rolling off a really cheap interest rate and onto a rate which in the meantime has doubled. So what have I done about that? Because I certainly haven't sat still and just thought, oh dear, that's a shame. So yeah.
No, you need to be proactive and plan for these things.
Yeah.
You're going to give so much value on the night, and people, if they want to, but obviously it doesn't just apply to a sort of property business. So I know it's a property networking event, but if you want to listen to what Caroline's going to say and you can apply it to a different business, then obviously you would be more than welcome.
Yeah,
so,
I'm giving away a free half hour. By the way, I'm not selling anything. I don't sell anything. There's no course, there's no mentorship. I don't do that at all, but just literally as a favour, I will be giving away half an hour slot with me as well for free, so that if anybody wants to chat to me in private, offline, and just run anything past me. Again, I don't sell things. I don't, I'm not, that's not what this is about. It's just me literally trying to be helpful, because who do you chat to about this stuff? So if somebody wants to chat I can't give financial advice. I'm no longer qualified to do that, but I can certainly listen and have a general conversation about, well, have you thought about this? Maybe you could consider that if that's something. So maybe you could do a draw or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
we'll do a raffle. No, that's very kind of you, Caroline. No, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll have a think about that and see how we can do that. Maybe like a sort of random number generator or something on the night. But no, that's really generous with you. I would have thought a lot of people would want to win that prize to have half an hour chat with you.
Well,
So,
I'm offering it is because I've done this presentation at a couple of other property network groups elsewhere in the country, and I had a queue of people at the end of the night. They didn't want to come and talk to me about it like in front of other people because it's sensitive.
yeah,
But I had a queue of people, and one chap was nearly in tears. He said, you know, this has literally just changed my life because I just didn't know who to talk to. And actually, he's got a massive opportunity there. He wasn't in a negative situation. He just didn't know how to move forward with something that was actually an opportunity. So we had a chat, and he, you know, if I can help people like that, then I'm, you know, more than happy to do so. There's no charge to that.
that certainly echoes the ethos of the PSN, where obviously believe that collaboration is key, as our like sort of
Yeah,
strapline, and that really sort of shows what the PSN community is about. So thank you.
of course, yeah. Well, we're all
Yeah,
here to help and support each other, aren't we? And
yeah,
we all have experiences, and very much from our own negative experiences as well. They, you know, what
yeah,
doesn't keep us stronger and all of that.
yeah.
So yeah, we and if I can help anybody, then I'm really hoping to add some value.
Thank you very much. So if you want to hear more from Caroline on the night, so it's the 25th of January at the Doubletree Hilton. Doors open at 6:30. And if you want to find out more about the event, because we also have another speaker who is talking about interior layouts. So thank you very much, Caroline. And yeah, if you want to hear more from Caroline at the event, so the date of the event is the 25th of January on the Thursday at Manchester Doubletree Hilton, which is directly opposite the Piccadilly train station. And if you want to find out more details about the event, we also have Neil Walton speaking at the event, who's going to be sharing all about how to actually run your HMOs, as well as running your business with obviously Caroline. If you'd like to find out more about the event, please visit our website, www.thepsn.co.uk. So thank you very much for your time, Caroline, and look forward to seeing you in 2024.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you then, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.